In previous session, we have discussed microsporangium. What is microsporangium? TS of anther. TS of anther. What are the parts in TS of anther? Microspore, structure of microspore. What are the layers present in microspore? This whole topic is completed. Today, our topic continuation, microsporogenesis. 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 Please all of you open your notebooks. Open your notebooks. Right. Microsporogenesis. Right, subheading. Microsporogenesis. Once roughly remember structure of microsporangium. Microsporangium on the outer side covered with 4 layers. How many layers? 4 layers. What is first layer? Epidermis. Epidermis. Second layer, endothecium. Endothecium. Clear? And the third layer, middle layers. Middle layers. Middle layers number 1 to 5. Next, innermost layer, tapetum. Tapetum. This whole concept already completed. Roughly, I recapitulate once. Epidermis. Epidermis, outermost layer of the epidermis layer made up of single layer. It is made up of only one cell. The shape of the cell, barrel shape. Second layer, endothecium. I told you clearly, endothecium is hygroscopic in nature. Hygroscopic means absorb water, bulge in size. That helps in anther dehisce. Anther dehisce means anther rupture. Therefore, anther release pollen grains into surrounding air. That is the importance of endothecium. Next layer, middle layer. Middle layer. Below endothecium, next layer is middle layer. Middle layers number 1 to 5. Minimum 1, maximum 5. Okay. Next, tapetum. Innermost layer of the microsporangium. Tapetum nourishes sporogenous tissue. It provides all types of nutrients for growing sporogenous tissue. This topic is already completed. Now, topic continuation, microsporogenesis. Microsporogenesis. Yes. All of you draw diagram. TS of anther. Follow me. TS of anther. Outer layer. Second layer, endothecium. Endothecium. Pollen sacs. Pollen sacs. I am showing here clearly. Directly pollen sacs. Middle layers. The topic already completed now. Now our main focus on pollen sac. Pollen sac. Pollen sac, also called microsporangium or theca. Pollen sac is filled with the sporogenous tissue. Sporogenous tissue. See, with body, this is sporogenous tissue. Okay, sporogenous tissue is made up of PMC, pollen mother cells. Okay, sporogenous tissue. Sporogenous tissue. It is made up of PMC, pollen mother cells. PMC stands for pollen mother cells. Please note down pollen mother cells. Okay, and it is stomium. 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 Stomium means the area where anther rupture. That particular junction is called stomium. Stomium more thin in size. It is more thin in size. So it is easy for anther dehisce and all spores means pollen grains disperse into surroundings. Okay. Rest of the tissue there na, rest of the area that is filled with parenchyma tissue, etc. Okay, right. After attainment of maturity, pollen sac rupture and a large number of pollen grains directly discharge into surrounding air. See, yes, pollen grains. Both sides, large number of pollen grains discharge into surroundings. Process of breakdown of anther is called anther dehisce. This is called anther dehisce. Anther dehisce. Okay. Anther dehisce means breakdown of anther. Breakdown of anther. Now listen carefully. I repeat briefly. This is TS of anther. TS of anther. Outer layers, epidermis. Suppose if you want, I draw outer layers also, each and every layer. Because somebody joins for your clear understands, I can draw complete structure. Complete structure. Okay, right. Outer layer, epidermis. Below epidermis, endothecium. Endothecium. Below middle layer. Middle layer. Next, below middle layer. What is next layer? Tapetum. Tapetum. Etc. Okay, now I can clear diagram. After maturation, break at sides, that is called stomium, the area where anther dehisce and disperse pollen grains into surroundings. That particular junction is called stomium. Here, the thickness of the epidermis, endothecium, middle layers are very thin in size, very thin in size. Therefore, anther easily rupture and discharge pollen grains into surroundings. Okay, right. That's all. Now we'll discuss pollen grain. Pollen grain. My suggestion: all of you take one screenshot. Speed up, make it fast. Dear students, everyone take one screenshot. Then I go with the next page. Next page. Speed up, make it fast. Over. Then I go to the next page. pollen grain. Right, this is pollen grain. Once go to structure of pollen grain. First, it is PMC, pollen mother cell. PMC, pollen mother cell. Pollen mother cell undergo meiosis. Produce 4 microspores. 4 microspores. 1, 2, 3, 4. Called microspore tetrad. All of you practice, follow me. Microspore tetrad. All 4 microspores attached with each other with, that is called callose layer. Callose layer. Okay. Callose, a type of chemical compound. So callose layer secreted from tapetum. All 4 microspores cluster into a group called microspore tetrad. Next, microspore tetrad. Tetrad is 4 microspores. Okay. Each microspore, showing here one of the microspore. It is one of the microspores. Clear, students? Microspore. Right over there. Microspore. Nucleus, cytoplasm, etc. The microspore undergo a series of changes, small changes, internal changes. Like too many vacuoles and the nucleus, large, definite nucleus. It is nucleus. And next step, two vacuoles. So all small size vacuoles join with each other to form large central vacuole. Next, nucleus. It is nucleus. Okay. So, division, nuclear division. Then, yes. See, nucleus undergo division, mitosis division to form two cells. One is big cell, other one is small cell. Big cell is called vegetative cell. Vegetative cell. Next, small one is there, that is called generative cell. Generative cell. Generative cell. Vegetative cell has large central nucleus. Large central nucleus and dense cytoplasm. Whereas generative cell has small size nucleus and a limited cytoplasm. Okay, vegetative cell large in size, generative cell small in size. Next step. Here about 60% of angiosperms. 60% of angiosperms means angiosperm glands shed their pollen. Pollen means pollen grains at two-celled stage. What are two cells? One vegetative cell and one generative cell. Understood? Very important NEET orbit question. See, majority of angiosperms share their pollen at two-celled stage. How much percentage? 60%. About 60% of angiosperm plants share their pollen at a two-celled stage. What are two cells? One vegetative cell, one generative cell. Clear? Next point. Rest of the 40% plants, 40% plants share their pollen at three-celled stage. Three-celled stage. Three-celled stage. Remember, here three cells, there two cells. What are three cells? Means here generator cell is there, no? Generator cell again divide vertically. Divide vertically. Okay, by mitosis division to form two male gametes. See, one vegetative cell, it is remains same, but generator cell divided into two parts. Two parts equals to two gametes, two male gametes. Okay, male gametes, two male gametes. Vegetative cell, vegetative cell. Now tell me, what is the number of cells in last diagram? Three cells, one vegetative cell and two male gametes. I told here 40% of plants share their pollen at the three-celled stage. What are three cells? Means one vegetative cell and two male gametes. Okay, remember these 2 points, very important. I put here star mark also. I am expecting questions in board exam, NEET exam and set exams from this area. Once I repeat, listen carefully. About 60% of angiosperms share their pollen at a two-celled stage. What are two cells? Respond please. One vegetative cell, one generative cell. Clear? Next, about 40% of plants share their pollen at a three-celled stage. What are three cells? One vegetative cell and two male gametes. That's it. In such a way, each and every pollen mother cell undergo meiosis. It undergo meiosis, form four microspores. A group of four microspores called microspore tetrad. All four microspores are attached with each other with a special layer called callose layer. See, this is callose layer. Callose layer secreted from tapetum. It is secreted from tapetum. Tapetum, innermost layer of the anther. Okay. Now, here I am showing one of the microspores. One of the microspores. Because each and every microspore develop into an individual pollen grain. For your clear understands, I am showing here only one of the microspores. I took one microspore. This is the structure of microspore. Microspore is covered with the two layers, exile, intine. Outer layer, exile. Inner layer is called intine. Okay. We will discuss structure of pollen grain separately. Next page. Okay. You just remember outer layer is called exile, inner layer is called intine. These two tough layers protect microspore in all directions from surrounding weather or climatic conditions. Okay. In the beginning, microspore has single nucleus. Go through next step. Large number of small vacuoles. Large number of small vacuoles origin in the microspore. Next step. All vacuoles join with each other to form central vacuole. Large central vacuole. Next, nucleus undergo division, mitosis division, that is called karyokinesis. Karyokinesis. Right here, karyokinesis. Okay, karyokinesis. Division of nucleus is called karyokinesis. Go to the next step. Next step. So nucleus divided two parts to form two cells. One is big cell called vegetative cell. Other one is small in size, that is called generative cell. About 60% of angiosperms share their pollen at a two-celled stage. What are two cells? One vegetative cell, one generative cell. Clear. Rest of the 40% of angiosperm plants share their pollen at a three-celled stage. What are three cells? One vegetative cell and two gametes, male gametes. These two male gametes coming from generative cell, because generative cell again divide vertically to form two male gametes. Two male gametes. Okay, total three cells. Okay, this is the outer layer of the pollen grain. Exine in time. Right? My suggestion, all of you take one screenshot. Do it fast. Speed up. Everybody take one screenshot. Then I go with the next page. Speed up, make it fast. Then I'm changing page. Now structure of pollen grain. Structure of pollen grain. Yeah, I am drawing big side diagram for your clear understands. This is the original shape of diagram, pollen grain diagram. Yes. Vegetative cell. It has large central nucleus. V means vegetative cell, shortly called VC. Remember, generative cell. What is the shape of generative cell? Spindle shape. See, it looks like spindle shape. Generative cell. Generative cell, shortly called GC. Outer layer, exine. Inner layer, intine. Exine is made up of sporopollenin. Very, very important. Sporopollenin. Sporopollenin is a nitrogenous substance. This is nitrogenous organic substance. Nitrogenous organic substance. It is very hard in nature. So due to presence of sporopollenin in exile, pollen grain withstand all adverse conditions. High salinity, acidic conditions, high temperature. So it withstand all adverse conditions. And inner layer, what is inner layer? Yes, inner layer is intine. It is made up of cellulose and pectin. Cellulose plus pectin. Okay. And what is the composition of hexane? What is the composition of intine? Very, very important for neat objective exam. Once I repeat, listen carefully. Hexane is made up of sporopollenin. It is a type of nitrogenous organic substance, very hard in nature. It protects pollen grain due to deposition of sporopollenin in hexane. Sporopollenin withstand all adverse conditions. Therefore, even pollen grains settle inside the soil for a longer time without damage, without desiccation. Hence, pollen grain also one of the fossils. One of the fossils. Okay. Then intine is made up of cellulose and pectin. That's it. Vegetative cell, it consists of dense cytoplasm. A generative cell having limited quantity of cytoplasm. The shape of generative cell, spindle shape. Note down, spindle shape. That's it. This is the structure of pollen grain. One more point, germ core. This is germ core. Germ core. Germ core number too many. See, I drawn here 3 germ cores. First germ core, second germ core, third germ core. The area where germ core is present, there hexane absent. Hexane absent means sporopollenin. Hexane absent and sporopollenin also absent. It is used for pollen germination. Pollen germination. Okay, I show here. See, pollen grain, pollen tube germination. Right? Yeah. So pollen tube come out of the pollen grain through germ pore. Understood now? That is called germ pore. Germ pore. Pollen tube. Pollen tube. That's it. Understood? This is the structure of pollen grain. Structure of pollen grain. And what are the parts in pollen grain? Their importance. Okay. All of you take one screenshot. Do it fast. Then I go with the next page. Structure of pollen grain. What are the layers in pollen grain? Their cell wall composition. Different types of cells. What is germ core? These are all main points. Take a screenshot. Over. Yes, next page. Pollen products. Right, subheading. Pollen products. As all of you know, pollen grain also rich in nutrients. Rich in nutrients and vitamins. Nutrients and vitamins. Okay. Hence, majority of Western countries people, Western countries people mainly feed on pollen grains, pollen products, because pollen products are rich in nutrients and vitamins. It is good for health for all age group members. Western countries people particularly feed on pollen products. Okay. Pollen products available in the form of tablets, means pills, syrups, paste, and cream, etc. Okay. Pollen products available in the market in the form of pills. Pills means tablets. Next, syrups, liquids, paste, paste, and cream. Okay. Due to its event, consumption of foreign products increase the capacity of race horses and athletes. Race horses, race horses and athletes, because foreign consumption increase the capacity or the performance of race horses and athletes. It increase energy. It produce large amount of energy within short time of period, short duration of time. Therefore, race horses and athletes usually they take pollen products in the form of pollen pills or pollen syrups, paste or cream. That's it. That is a brief introduction about what is pollen product, importance of pollen products. Clear? Next, pollen viability. Pollen viability. Right, next heading. Pollen viability. Pollen viability. Viability means germination capacity. Germination capacity. Germination capacity of the pollen grain is called pollen viability. Pollen viability again vary from species to species. Suppose in grasses, an example, in grasses, pollen viability lasts for 30 minutes. 30 minutes of their release. 30 minutes of their release. That means what? Once the pollen grains release from anther, then they germinate within 30 minutes. After 30 minutes, they lost their viability. Naturally, they lost their viability. Means they never germinate again. Within 30 minutes, pollen grains settle on the stigma and germinate on the stigma, develop pollen tube. If stigma not available means after 30 minutes, pollen grain lost its viability, lost its germination capacity. Okay, next, another example, some families. There are three families. Example, Rosaceae. All of you note down. Rosaceae, Leguminosae, and Solanaceae. Rosaceae, Leguminosae, and Solanaceae. These three families. In these three families, pollen viability for few months. Okay. Once I repeat, some families. Example, Rosaceae, Leguminosae, and Solanaceae plants, family plants, pollen viability lasts for few months. But in grasses, pollen viability only for 30 minutes of their release. After 30 minutes, pollen grains naturally lost their viability, lost their germination capacity. That's it. That is about viability and all. Now all of you take one screenshot. Speed up, make it fast. Do it fast. Everybody take one screenshot. Done. Shall I go with the next page? Next. Seed banks and pollen banks. Seed banks. Next everybody note down. Seed banks. Pollen banks. Right. Seed banks means what? The area where seeds available. called seed banks. Seed banks store all types of seeds at optimum temperature. Optimum temperature. Seed banks contain different plant seeds. Different plant seeds. Okay, preserved in chemicals. Preserved in chemicals. Okay, seeds right here. Seeds preserved in chemicals. Therefore, seeds fresh for a longer time without damage. Similarly, pollen banks also available in all over the country, even in other countries also. Nowadays, all types of plant pollen grains preserved at -degree Celsius temperature. That is called cryopreservation. Cryopreservation. Okay, now we discuss pollen banks. Pollen banks store all types of pollen grains at -196 degree Celsius temperature in liquid nitrogen. Liquid nitrogen. Very, very important point. Remember, don't forget. -196 degrees Celsius temperature, all pollen grains preserved in liquid nitrogen. Therefore, pollen grains fresh for a longer time without damage and without desiccation. One very important neat objective point. Okay, cryopreservation. Cryopreservation means what? Cryo means ice. Preservation, storage. Preservation means storage. That means -196 degree Celsius temperature. Very cold temperature. At this temperature, pollen grains remain fresh for a longer time without damage and without desiccation in liquid nitrogen. Liquid nitrogen. Clear? That is about pollen banks, seed banks, etc. Next, next character, female character. Before that, all of you take one screenshot. Do it fast. Speed up. Then, last 4 minutes, only 4 minutes. Till now, we have discussed male character, stamen, microsporangium, microsporogenesis, and pollen grain. These 4 topics completed. Okay. Microsporogenesis means what? The process of production of microspores from pollen sac is called microsporogenesis. Okay. Then pollen grain, developmental stages of pollen grain, structure of pollen grain, pollen products, seed banks, pollen banks, whole topic completed. Okay. Next, female character. Female character. Pistil. Pistil. Just introduction about female character. Note down. Pistil, megasporangium, pistil, megasporangium. Megasporangium also called ovule. Ovule. Okay. And embryo sac. Note down. Embryo sac. Pistil, megasporangium, and embryo sac. First character, pistil. What is pistil? Pistil also called carpel. It is female character. Which character? Female character. Okay. Right. Roughly go through structure of pistil. Structure of pistil. NCERT book diagram. Yes, you also try to draw this diagram like this. Okay. Stigma. Stigma. Right? Style. Style. Ovary. Ovary. This is base. Base of the ovary is called thalamus. Thalamus. Okay. Example. Diagram example. Hibiscus. Hibiscus. Hibiscus plant. Ovary. I am showing it clearly. Hibiscus means China rose. Hibiscus common name China rose. China rose. Clear? Yeah. Pistil. Pistil also called carpel. It is female character. Till now we have discussed male character. Stamen, microsporangium, pollen sac. That is male character. Completed. Now we are discussing female character. Female character. Main heading: pistil, megasporangium, and embryo sac. Megasporangium also called ovule. First go through pistil. This is pistil. Clear? Go through diagrammatic representation. Diagram name hibiscus. Hibiscus rosa sinensis. Plant name, scientific name is Hibiscus rosa sinensis. But I wrote here only genus hibiscus. Hibiscus common name China rose. You know very well. Here I am showing clearly pistil. Pistil broadly has three parts: ovary, style, and stigma. Okay. Basal part of the pistil is called ovary. It is bulged in size. Then ovary continues as style. Style ends with stigma. Stigma. Number of stigma are 5. Number of stigma are 5 in hibiscus. This is one special characteristic feature of hibiscus. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 stigma. That's it. Ovary bear 1 to many ovules. 1 to many ovules. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. So the number of ovules again vary from species to species. That's it. Today stop here. Our right time completed. Time 10 o'clock, 10:01. All of you take one screenshot. Speed up, make it fast. Quick. Done. Okay. Even we are sending material, means assignment, objective questions assignment. All of you practice objective questions. Then get ready for today class test exam. Before that, first read one's notes. We are sending video also. If you want to watch video again once or twice, then read NCERT lines thoroughly. Then practice assignment, which are sending by me. Then obviously you will get better marks in objective exam, class test exam. Okay, students. Thank you very much. Prepare well. Have a nice day. Hello, Nagaraja sir. Sir, ఇప్పుడు క్లాస్ అయిపోయింది. స్టాప్ చూపిస్తాను. స్టాప్ రికార్డింగ్ అని. త్రీ డాట్స్ సార్. ఇప్పుడు ఏముందంటే స్టాప్ ప్రజెంటింగ్ డ్యూ కంట్రోల్ ఉంది బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ కొట్టాను సార్. ఓకే స్టాప్ చేశాను సార్. తర్వాత 3 డాట్స్ కదా సార్, 3 డాట్స్ స్టాప్ రికార్డింగ్ సార్ కొట్టేసాను. స్టాప్ రికార్డింగ్.